Good afternoon. It is the second, just about the beginning of the second week of March, and I think it's time to plant our high tunnel. Normally we do it the first weekend in March. Weather last weekend wasn't that great. We've got a sure sign in there that everything is ready, and let me show you what we have. So we've got a sure sign that this greenhouse is ready to be planted. Let me show you what that is. The weeds are growing very nicely. We got some chickweed here, we got some dandelions and stuff growing there, but we also have some potatoes that have started to sprout. These were potatoes that we probably missed last year when we picked this for the final time. What I want to do is get all these weeds out. The chickens are going to love them. And then I'm going to try to broad fork in here. There's not a lot of room because we don't have a lot of height, but I think I can broad fork this pretty well to loosen up the soil. We're going to mix some bone meal and some blood meal into the soil for the potatoes, and we're going to do those in furrows. So we'll get that soil loosened, we'll get those furrows dug, move that other soil to the side, and then as those potatoes start growing, we'll mound that soil back in. Save as much of the soil as we can. Hey ladies. So we've done a pretty good job getting all the heavy weeds out. I'm just going to take and I'm going to rake some of this mulch that we had. This is just old grass clippings from last year that we put in here. We got leaves on the other side. I'm going to rake some of that away, and we'll get this area broad forked. I am going to take this onion out that's over here, and I'm going to transplant that to the other side. We'll see how that does. That actually overwintered in here, which was pretty nice. And we're going to also dig up some of those potato plants on the other side to get those out of the way, since our onions are going to be over there. We'll spread this back over once we plant. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 2 trenches with this. I'm going to spread the soil to either side. I'm then going to use some bone meal. I didn't have any blood meal, so this was poor planning on our part, but we do have some all-purpose organic fertilizer. We're going to put that in with the bone meal. Soil's nice and loose. And we're going to do one other thing. I'm going to take some composted cow manure. I'm going to sprinkle that on top of this, and I'm going to mix that in the soil a little bit, and then we'll be ready to plant. I would love to be using our own compost for this, but we just don't produce enough. Hopefully when we get a cow, we'll have more. These are our potatoes from last year. You can see they're already growing pretty well. These are in the basement, so we're going to put these in the ground. It's a mix of, I think, red Norland and Yukon Gold or some other white potato, but we're going to get these in that back row. I'll try to plant the red ones in the back row and the white ones in the front row. I'm going to hit that front row before I do it with the broad fork again, because I didn't think about it, kind of kneeling on that and walking on it, trying to do the back row, so should have thought of that before. You always think of these things too late, so we'll redo that. Not quite sure what I'll end up with for spacing. I have to see how many I have here. Like this, I'm just going to kind of wrap this portion around the potato, make sure it's buried. The ones I'm just digging down, covering them up. Second row ready to go in. End up using all red potatoes. And we still have some left. Those will get planted later in the year if they last that long. I take this mulch that we had, these grass clippings, and I'm just going to sprinkle them back over. This front row in front of our cattle panel here is just going to be lettuce, so I'm going to rake some of these grass clippings away. Just loosen right in front of the cattle panel here with the pitchfork a little bit, and then we'll plant our lettuce seeds. We'll put some of the composted cow manure in there to get that going. So we'll get that ready to go. We'll get that planted, then we'll move to the back side of the high tunnel. So I'm going to plant this half and half. I'm going to use this white Paris for half, and then this crispy iceberg lettuce for the other half. We'll see what happens. It's always fun planting these little teeny seeds. Here's one of these potatoes that's sprouting. Let's see what we got. Hey, we got dinner. This is what we got from those potatoes that were just starting to grow this spring. So we got some dinner. going to prepare this pretty much the same as last time. So I'm not going to do a big trench, but I'm going to make a spot in my soil. I'm going to sprinkle some bone meal, some of our all-purpose fertilizer or compost. We're going to start with these, which are sweet golden onions. So we're going to plant these in the first row. So these have a top and a bottom side, much like garlic. So the pointy side, you want that up. This bottom side will be the root side. And we're going to just put them in the ground and just barely cover them. We've had better luck using the sets. We still do seeds, and we have more seeds that we did this year, and they're growing now. These ones, these are our red Carmen. Cascadia snap peas. We love our snap peas. We'll pack these pretty tight. I'll put them like an inch or so apart. Maybe 2 inches apart. So we are all planted. We got our peas planted here. Lettuce in front. 2 rows of potatoes. And 2 rows of onions. That one onion we pulled out is stuck in the ground here. Now I'm going to go up. I'm going to get the hose. We're going to give this a good soaking. Hasn't been watered all winter, so we're going to get the ground nice and moist, and we'll keep it moist. And we should have stuff growing in here, I would think, within 2 weeks. Oh, it is so nice to have stuff planted in the ground. It means our growing season has begun, even though it's in the high tunnel. But this is going to give us our first early food for the year. We should be harvesting potatoes probably towards the end of July. We'll have peas before then. And lettuce hopefully before then. The onions will take a bit longer, but this is a fun time of the year for us because it's the start of a new year of growing our food. Well, we've got the high tunnel planted. It's about a week later than we normally would do it, but it's planted nonetheless, and we are so excited because this means our growing season has started. We'll have food growing in there before we know it, and we'll be eating some fresh food very soon. So we thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we certainly would appreciate you subscribing to our channel. But until next time, we hope all your days are, even on this cloudy day, sunny side up.